The next important thing is um, you should know that when we import the module, it automatically execute the imported module. So how we can avoid executing certain piece of a code from the module being imported? So in Python, every script we create has a name associated to it, which is stored in a built-in special name. So double underscore name double underscore is a built-in variable which is used to hold the name of the module being executed. Now if we execute the file directly using like pressing the play button in the IDE, or by executing the file using Python script just like here, Python 3 writing print underscore name dot py, means that I'm executing this file directly. So when we execute this file directly, this value is assigned to this variable. Double underscore main double underscore will be assigned to this variable. And when I import this module, so the double underscore name double underscore variable would be containing the actual file name of the module that is being imported. So let me explain it on the whiteboard. What do I mean by that? Let me pull up the whiteboard here. Alright, so suppose I have a module. Let's say it contains let's say some functions dot py. Okay, and let's say I have a function named mul, and it takes x and y as an input, and what it does, it actually simply return the multiplication of x and y. So it takes two input, x and y, it multiply them and return the results back. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm actually developing this module, right? So this is the module that I'm developing, but before making sure that it is working fine or not, I want to do is, if I want to check it whether it is working fine or not. So how can I check it? By calling this function that I have just developed, by calling this function, right, and passing the values of x and y, and see whether it is returning the correct value or not. Okay, so what I would do is I would write if, so okay, so before I talk about this, I'll say double underscore name double underscore is the variable that will be containing the name of this module, name of the module that is being executed. Now there are two things here. When I execute this, let me put it here, if name say equal, so this is a variable name, and I'm comparing it with double underscore main double underscore. I'll get back what do I mean by that. So in order to test this, what I can do is print, call the mul function, okay, and pass the value, let's say 2 times 3. So it will pass value 2, which will be assigned to x, it pass value 3, which will be assigned to y, and then x will be multiplied by y, 2 times 3, and whatever the value is returned here, which is 6, it will be printed. So this is how we can perform the testing of any module, right? Now what I want to say here is this variable, this is a built-in variable, double underscore name. So when I execute this program name, functions.py with Python, by writing Python or Python 3, whatever you're using, function.py. So when I execute this script by using this command python3 functions.py, when I'm using it, when I'm executing this functions.py file directly, then this variable will be containing, there are two values that can be assigned to this. So double underscore name double underscore will be assigned a value which is double underscore main double underscore. So this is a string that which will be assigned to this variable. Now what we are doing here is we are checking this condition. If this condition is true, then execute this code, this instruction written underneath this range statement. So usually this is practice when you want to develop certain logic. You develop a certain logic like this and you want to test it within that module. Now if you want to import this, so for example you have this program, so let's say its name is myprogram.py is the name of your program. Okay, so what I can do is import functions only. I'll not be writing .py because while importing we do not include the extension. So when I write import function, everything, this entire thing will be imported here, or you can say that entire thing is copied and pasted here. I may have different number of variables like x equals 5, y equals 3, and then how can I access the function mul from here? I can access the function, let's say print. In order to access the function, this function mul, how I can access it? By first calling the function name, that is file name that is being imported, which is the module functions, and then dot mul, and then you specify the value x and y. So the value of x and y here are 5 and 3. Okay, so when you start executing this piece of code, let's say with the statement python 3 and your program name is myprogram.py, it will first execute this line. It will first execute this line, which means that it will copy and paste everything that is defined here. It's going to copy and paste everything, and it will start executing, which means that it will first compile this thing, means that it find this function is defined here, and then when it comes to this point, at this point here, if a statement. Now because this module is imported and is not imported here and is not executed, so here in this module, the name variable will now be assigned a value. Double underscore name variable will now be assigned a value. What value? It will be assigned its actual name, which is the functions, not excluding the py extension. So it will now be containing this value, functions. Okay, now when this variable is containing this value, functions, this piece of code will not be executed because this condition will not satisfy. Okay, so when this piece of code is not executed, which means that this instruction, all the instruction written underneath this if a statement will not be executed. And this is exactly what we want, because once we were developing this module, we were interested in testing whether it is working fine or not. Once we verified the functionality, we actually imported this statement here, imported this module here, and now we are using it in the production. And when we are using this module in the production, we would not want the test written for testing this function written here should be executed. We do not want that. So that is why we enclose all the test here, all the piece of information that we want to be executed only when this file is executed directly using this Python 3 statement. Okay, And many a times you would also want to keep the test written as it is. You do not want to remove the test because maybe you later on you update the functions module with the new function. Let's say definition add, you add a new functionality x, y, and so on. You would not want to remove the old test for testing mode function. Okay, you still want to have these tests written and stored in the same file, but you do not want to execute these test statements when you are using this in the production. Okay, so when this module is executed directly, names variable would be containing the value double underscore main double underscore. And when this file is imported here, now this name variable will now be containing the actual name of the file, actual name of the module functions. Same is the case here. If I were to define, let's say print double underscore name double underscore, so I am using this variable within this module. Okay, so this module would again be containing the value double underscore main double underscore. Okay, so yeah, so let's see it in the demo.